Hello, this is a demo of loading Cisco VPN software to provide access to the Lehigh University network. The objective of this video will be to show you how to install VPN software on the CentOS 6.4 32-bit operating system. Although this video is for CentOS 6.4, it is my assumption that what you see on this video will work for previous versions of CentOS from 6.0 up through 6.4. However, you'll have to give that a try to verify it. The second thing we'll do is we'll take a look at the command line and just do one or two things to make sure that it looks like the Cisco VPN Anyconnect software has loaded and appears to be working. And then the last thing that we're going to do for the final proof that the VPN software is working is we will connect to something that's behind the Lehigh firewall. My name is David Morissette. I'm a systems administrator with the Electrical and Computer Engineering Department and a member of LTS here at Lehigh University. Without further ado, we'll get started. Now, what we have here is we have a fresh install of CentOS 6.4, and the first thing we're going to do is open a web browser, and we just click on the little Firefox icon there, and then we will go to the website software.lehigh.edu. And you'll notice on the left-hand side here is a login button. In order to be able to download the software that we're going to be looking at, you need to either be a student or an employee at Lehigh University and have a Lehigh University ID and a Lehigh University password. So we'll click on the little login button, and it asks me here for my Lehigh ID and then my Lehigh password. And it asks if it should remember the password. I always click on Never Remember the Password, which I advise you to do. You'll notice the little login button went away after we successfully logged in. We'll scroll down the page here until we come to Cisco Anyconnect VPN. That's the software we'll be installing. Click on the little green check mark, and then scroll down the page and you'll see a big green download button. We're going to click on that green download button, and then we'll click the little radio button for Linux 32-bit. We're going to be installing this on a 32-bit operating system. Click Agree and Download, and then we'll just click Save File. And my Firefox is connected or is set up right now just to install everything in the downloads directory, and it has finished downloading. This can take like a minute or two to download. I had a really quick download in this demo. So what we're going to do now is we're going to close all of the web browser stuff and just get a fresh page here. Now when I install software, particularly things that are not RPMs, I like to isolate them in their own little directory because I never know what's going to be unpacked, and I don't want to make a mess on my desktop or in some other critical directory. So what I'm going to do is do a right click in the middle of the desktop in the blue part, and then I'm going to click on Create Folder, and I'm going to call this folder Anyconnect. And you can call it whatever you want. Don't worry about the spelling. This is just a folder to hold what we're going to do. And then double click that folder and open it. And drag it down here out of the way. I'm going to click on my user home directory. And then click on the directory Downloads. And I'll move that up. And I'm going to just close this user home directory to get it out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is do a left click up here in the downloads directory on this icon for this file Anyconnect predeploy, which we downloaded, and I'm going to drag that down into the Anyconnect directory on my desktop. And I can go ahead and close both of these GUI windows for the directories. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open a terminal window. We're going to install this from the terminal line. And so I did a right click in the middle of the blue part on the desktop, and then I selected Open Terminal. Now once I'm in the desktop, if I do an ls, you can see the directory here. I'll bring my cursor here, Anyconnect, and that's this Anyconnect directory here that you see on the desktop. We're going to do a change directory. So I type cd space capital A, and then I can hit the tab key because that's the only file or directory I have with a capital A, and it will autocomplete. Or you can type out the word Anyconnect and then hit enter. And now what we're going to do, just to demonstrate something, is we're going to type ls space dash LH and then hit enter. And here's the file name, anyconnect-predeploy-linux. And you'll see that this file is 7.7 megabytes. The file ends in a .tar.gz. The .gz tells me that this is a compressed file. The file has been compressed with gzip. So we're going to unzip it. So unzip. And I'll type A and hit the tab key. Again, you can type out the whole file name if you wish, or use the autocomplete by typing a letter and hitting the tab key. Then we're going, after we type unzip and the file name, we're going to hit enter. And we'll type ls space dash LH again. Okay, here's the file name that we unzipped, and you'll notice the .gz disappeared at the end. You'll also notice now the file is 21 megabytes in size. So it's been uncompressed. Now we're going to untar the file. So to do that, we'll type tar-xvf space the letter A, and then we'll hit the tab key again, and it will autocomplete it. And then we'll hit enter, and you'll see a bunch of files being listed, hopefully. And then what we'll do here is we'll type ls, enter, and we see the file name that we untarred here, but now we also see a directory, and this is the data that was untarred from the file name. Now we'll do a change directory, cd space, and then you can just hit A, hit the tab key. It will autocomplete as far as it can. And then if you type the number 3 for the release and hit your tab key, or you can just type out that directory name again. And then we'll hit enter. And then we'll type ls to see what's under there. And I'm actually going to make this a little bigger so it's a little bit easier to read. There we go. You'll notice that we now have 3 directories. We have one called Dart, Posture, and VPN. I know from experience what I want to do is I want to type cd space VPN, enter, and then ls. And you'll see a file down here called vpn_install.sh. That's the file name that we want to run. Now in order to install this program, you either need to be root or you have to have sudo. I'm actually going to use sudo to install this. I've set this ID up to use sudo, and by running sudo that gives me the ability from my user ID to run root commands. So I'll type sudo // that says look in this directory for what I want to run, and then VPN _install .sh, and then I'll hit enter, and it's my first time running a sudo command, and so now I'll type in my ECE or my user ID password, and it's starting the install process here. It has now displayed the license, which I have read very carefully, and I have to hit yes to proceed. And now the Cisco Anyconnect software is installed, and it says done. So what we can do now is start the software. Although the software is installed, it's not running yet. So to start the software, we click on Applications, and we go to Internet. We go to this Cisco Anyconnect Secure Mobility Client line here, and then right here is the software. So we'll go ahead and click on the software, and it comes up with a dialog box. Where it says connect to, we'll type in sslvpn.lehigh.edu, and once we've done that, we can go ahead and click on connect. Now, some more fields pop up in the dialog box, and this is a good sign. It means it's now connected to this, but we have to fill out some information to complete the connection. The first field is the group field. You'll notice it says general access, and most of the time folks will enter the VPN with the general access. The exception is if you want to access some library databases, to get some library journals and things like that, you have to click this little drop down box and then click on library resources, and that will allow you to access some of the library databases. Otherwise, you're just going to stay with general access, and that's how we're going to go in on our demonstration here. Okay, and then you type in your Lehigh username and then your Lehigh password. And then you hit connect. And after you've connected, you're going to see that there's a little world type of thing here with a little lock on it. And we're going to run a little command here from the command prompt just to take a look and verify that it looks like it actually did connect and is running. You don't have to do this, except we're just doing this for the demonstration purposes. So we'll type IP space A, and you'll see some network connectivity information. The ETH0 here, this is my regular connection, and you'll see a 192.168.122.218. That's my connection here through here at my home, and that's my IP address I'm using. And down here you'll see a CSC0 TUN0. This is actually the Cisco connection, and you'll see an IP address of 128.180. Those two sets of numbers are significant. They tell you you're at a Lehigh address, and the rest of it is .70.22. The last two pieces here, like the 70 and 22, you'll very likely get something different. But that tells me that, yep, it looks like it's working at this point. Now the true test is to see if we can actually access something behind the Lehigh firewall. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on the Firefox web browser, and I have a web page set up behind the Lehigh firewall, and if you can get to it, then you have successfully connected. So the web page is at eceteachinglabs.cc.lehigh. Whoops, I have to spell Lehigh right. .edu/VPN-test-page.html, and then we'll hit enter. And if you get a page that looks like this, This is the Lehigh VPN test page. If you are off campus and you are seeing this web page, you have successfully completed the VPN connection, or you have a successful VPN connection. Okay, so that worked. So it looks like everything's working, and that's great. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was helpful. The end.